The average mortgage rate for good quality, good credit quality is about 640. If interest rates, if we go down to 1%, which is about 4 now, that number is going to go down to somewhere between 3.5 and 4. If you borrowed at 7, it may be a good idea for you to refinance. But I don't think without uncertainty being resolved, there's going to be too much housing demand. Because I want to see where things are going to look before I make my decision to spend a lot of money. We bought that thing in La Jolla, which is a suburb of San Diego, where UC San Diego is. My son was going to school there, and we pretty much said, it's actually cheaper than him paying the uh, dorms, and he didn't want to be in dorms anyway. So 287 was great. If we had borrowed that money now, I think monthly payments would have been $2,000 higher. It's about 1,800 on just the mortgage part right now. Plus, you have the tax, insurance, and other stuff. I don't think we could have afforded. But that market is crazy. This is a two-bedroom condo in a uh, kind of gated community with the pool, sports stuff, and all the other stuff. And my son is now in Brown, but my ex is still there, and she's thinking about next year moving here. She could easily get $4,000 rent for that. Two-bedroom condo. That's it. The house that they used to be in Lexington, that's being rented right now. It's a six-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom. It has two dining rooms and stuff, all sorts of stuff. That's also being rented, and she can only get 3,500 for that. Markets are different. All right, let's go back to this. Now, we also have a concept called yield to maturity. This is the rate at which you need to discount uh, the cash flows from the bonds. That's kind of the market interest rate. Remember, coupon rate is fixed at the issue. In fact, it is also at the discretion of the issuer. There is nothing that stops me from issuing a bond that pays zero coupon. They're called pure discount bonds. In fact, some of the short-term maturity treasury bonds, anywhere from 1 month to 12 months, they are pure discount bonds. In fact, we give them a special name. We call them treasury bills. Treasury bills are short-term treasury borrowing instruments that has zero coupons, but maturity 1 year or less. 1 year or less at the time of the issue. And let's see. Regarding that yield to maturity, it is an annual percentage rate, APR number. That means period interest rate is YTM. In fact, we shorten this to YTM divided by coupon frequency. In fact, I'm going to call that CF. As you know, we're civilized people. I'm going to call this F. CR. All right. Now, let's start with the simple version. Fixed coupon bonds. How do we value them? Let's do an example. Suppose your bond has 2 years to maturity, pays semi-annual coupons, $1,000 face value, and 7% coupon rate. What are the cash flows from this bond? First of all, coupon amount is face value times coupon rate divided by coupon frequency. What's the face value? I'm sorry, F. I typically use FV for future value kind of stuff. What's the face value? $1,000 times what's the coupon rate? 7%. And what's the coupon frequency? How many coupons it pays? Semi-annual means every half of the year. So two. Okay? Biannual means every 2 years. And coupon frequency would have been 0.5 in that case. But there are no such bonds. So this bond is going to pay $35 coupons. Number of coupons is 4 because it has 2 years maturity and 2 per year. So year 0.5 pays 35. Year 1.0 year 2.0 pays 35 plus face value, which is equal to 1,000. So the last payment is equal to actually 1,035. If this was a 30-year issue, we would have had 60 coupons every 6 months. Then at the end of year 30, it's going to pay 1,035. When we were doing a little bit of Excel in the beginning of the semester, we dealt with cash flows like these. Other than that additional 1,000 at the end, those coupon payments are annuities, which means a finite number of equal amount payments. Okay, and that 1,000 we call that a balloon payment at the end. So we already know how to do it, but let's go ahead and I have 15 minutes. Let's kind of get us started on the templates. I have this template I have that I can use to do any sorts of calculations with different inputs, optionalities, and stuff. So I'm going to create a copy of this. Let's call this bond value. Now, I have no options, so I'm going to delete these. Unfortunately, you can't delete that one. Well, what are my inputs? I have face value, coupon rate, mm, number of years until maturity, and yield to maturity, right? So I have those four inputs. So I'm going to basically add one, two, three inputs. Oh, I have one more. That's weird.